Is the Pikachu EX SIR from Surging Sparks going to dethrone the Greninja EX? It might be too early to tell, but the math says yes. And I'm not one to jump on the FOMO train, and I am not endorsing going crazy over this. I'm not saying, hey, pick it up before it's too late, but I am predicting that this card will be the top chase card out of Scarlet and Violet before 2025. And the biggest factor that is making me think this way is simply how the Japanese SAR is performing. Now, if we take a look at the Greninja EX, it is just over $300 in value. It had a crazy initial spike back at the end of July, and it kind of stayed consistent with it. We saw a little dip, but it's going back up now. Now let's take a look at its Japanese counterpart, at least when it was first available to buy on eBay. And it went anywhere from $65 all the way to about $90. And that is saying a lot, because if we take a look at the Pikachu EX Japanese SAR, it's going for about 165 to even 187. That's almost double the price of the Greninja SAR, which means if the math is mathing, this card should be double what the Greninja EX SIR, the English version, when this comes out in Surging Sparks. So that means we could possibly have a $600 chase card for the Scarlet and Violet era. Now, whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, it might be the reality. The main pushback though is this artwork arguably isn't as good as the Greninja EX SIR. Some people are even saying it looks exactly the same as the full art and the regular EX version, which in all fairness is pretty hard to tell because the Pikachu is in the same-ish position in its other versions of the EX card, and there is a lot of white going in it, which is again similar to the full art and even the standard EX Pikachu. The main difference is this is Pikachu, this isn't Greninja, this is the mascot of the Pokemon franchise. So it's not going to be a factor of the artwork itself, but more so how much the fans are going to want to pick up this card, and chances are they're gonna want it. And they clearly already do want it if it's being sold for over $160 in its Japanese form. Some other factors that we're gonna have to pay attention to when Surging Sparks releases is its pull rates, and even if it's a competitive card. There are crazy people out there that like to bling out their decks and play with very expensive meta cards. We saw this with Lugia V and Giratina V. Some of those decks got very expensive, and playability does affect how expensive a card can be, whether it is mainly a collectible card or not. So my prediction is there's going to be a lot of initial hype with this card. I can see it going for around $400 to $500 at release, and the community is going to be the deciding factor after that. Release day prices are always very expensive. It could have an initial drop like the Greninja and then go way back up, or it will continue to go down like most cards in the TCG. If I had to guess, I think it will go down and then stay kind of consistent, but it still might be more expensive than the Greninja EX. But let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about this card. And as always, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.